Bonjour. As the title of this video suggests, I've done the unthinkable. I have modified my extremely rare and valuable Wide-Boy 64 AGB. I've had it for a couple of years now. It's probably my most valued, most treasured item of gaming related hardware. It gets a lot of use. But a couple of things have always bothered me about it, my one in particular, and that is that it wasn't in the best condition. It wasn't in bad condition by any stretch of the imagination, but it had obviously been in a working environment. It had scratches and scuffs on the case. There was also quite a bit of yellowing out, a visible tan line where it had been, the bottom part of it, which was in an N64, was grey, and it got progressively yellower above that, where it had obviously been exposed to sunshine in its working environment. That bothered me a bit. And also heat. Everybody knows that I'm a big fan of fans. If electronics generate heat, that's an unwanted side effect, and if I can remedy that easily, then I will. The Wide-Boy's got 3 power regulators in the back of it, and those are the source of the heat. They're supposed to get hot, that's how they work. But if I can make it run cold, then why not? I'll just do that, so I did. And generally, I took the opportunity to sort of think to myself, what would it look like if it was a commercial product, if Intelligent Systems and Nintendo had actually intended to sell it to the public? It probably wouldn't have that inkjet plain paper label stuck to the middle of the front of it, things like that. So anyway, I'll show you what I've done, although you've probably already seen from the thumbnail. If I can open this, dun, 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 there he is. I have painted it black. If it was a commercial product, it would either have been grey or black, let's be honest. And all the other Wide-Boys in the world are grey, so black it is. I've done it in a satin finish, black paint. I actually didn't know this existed before this little project, but epoxy primer. Basically, for those that don't do a lot of spray painting, the primer is what you apply to the substrate, the thing which you intend to paint eventually, and the paint sticks to the primer. So you prime it first and then you paint it. And epoxy primer is basically glue, so the paint will stick to it like shit to a blanket, so that I shouldn't have to worry about this wearing off or anything. So yeah, it's nice and black now. I kept the original Intelligent Systems label for the back, obviously, and I've had a new label made up for the front, if I can get close without it going blurry. I designed that myself. I'm not particularly artistic with computery things, so I black dust, yeah, black loves dust. But anyway, yeah, I designed it myself, kept it nice and clean and simple, and had it printed out at a professional place. It's actually a vinyl matte finish label, so it's quite nicely done. It just looks a bit more professional than the inkjet label that was in the middle down here somewhere, and I've made use of that little indent which existed there, so it looks quite nice, I think. And as I say, the heat, the regulators are down here somewhere in the back, and the heat was bugging me a bit, so I've also installed a very small fan. It's a Sunon maglev fan. Sunon make the smallest fans in the world, basically, and it uses magnetic levitation, so when the rotor is spinning, it's actually not in any physical contact with the stator, so it should last a very long time. The holes, I cut up that slot there, obviously, and I've got an intake on the other side. They were probably the longest part of this project. It took me about 2 hours because I obviously didn't want to make a mess of them. They're a great deal neater, I think, than the handmade holes which Intelligent Systems did for the rest of it. So, haha. But yes, it now runs cold, even after several hours, so I'm quite pleased with that. And that's about it. It's sort of my take on what it would look like, more or less, if it was a commercial product. I did contemplate making like a cartridge chute that the cartridge would slide down into, but that might be going a bit too far, and I do quite like seeing the cartridge exposed like that, so that's all I did with it. So yeah, that's it. Looks quite nice. Looking quite pleased with the way it turned out. apart from all the dust which it now attracts. But that's it, and thank you for watching once again.